Welcome to another episode of Hoosier Nerds Broadcast, Hoosier Nerds Podcast, with your host, Mikey, Tim, and the two Chris's. But now it's just Mikey and Chris because Tim, we don't know where he's at, although he said he was going to show up. He's a liar! And Chris said he got called into work conveniently.
Yeah.
At least he's not out. At least he's not out with COVID like we thought that one day.
No.
So
No monkeys this time.
nope. No monkeys this time that we know of. I mean, he might have one. I mean, we don't
Uh-huh.
know.
Yeah.
You might find out soon. That might be your roommate.
Oh, gosh.
Chris and his monkey. So it's just Chris with a K and Mikey. So we've got there's not a lot to talk about this week really. So we're kind of doing a potpourri of different things. We can start out. We'll talk about how WandaVision debuted on Disney Plus. You didn't watch it?
No, I don't. Yeah, I wasn't interested in it. I was gonna wait for reviews and maybe see what friends thought about it before I watched it.
Okay, so I
So,
watched they showed the first two episodes,
yeah.
and it is the way it starts. I was like, what are we watching here? It was like a throwback to like 50 sitcoms like Leave It to Beaver and I Love Lucy with a laugh track and
Oh gosh.
lame cheesy jokes, and it's black and white. And that was episode 1. I'm like, what is this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And as episode 2 gets on, it starts to reveal itself that there's more of a darker world there than what it's being represented as. So you can tell that they're trying to, they go to hide basically. So um, things are they're starting to be found and things are starting to be revealed. So it's starting to build up. So by the end of episode 2, I was kind of like, okay, well, let's see where this goes. You've hooked me in. So unlike what Raised by Wolves couldn't do, WandaVision is already done, and I'm already hooked. I'm kind of curious to see what direction they're going to go for episode 3 and beyond. So there's some hints. There was at the end of episode 2, there was the beekeeper. I don't know who the beekeeper is. I don't know that much about. Um, the beekeeper has apparently found out where they are. So we'll see where that goes with that direction. So that's about all we can say without giving away too much. Although it's very hokey. It's very hokey and cheesy. But I think if you can suffer through, it's just laying the groundwork.
So so you think it takes place like after like Civil War or whatever? Or is it before Civil War?
Well,
Like when they're in hiding? I don't
it has
know.
vision. So I'm not
Oh,
sure what
yeah.
the timeline is. So it's got it's Vision. It's Wanda and Vision. So
Yeah.
it's was it Scarlet Witch, right? She's Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
But he works for some. It's really cheesy. He's like, what do we do here? And he's like working on a typewriter, and he's going like a typewriter and a calculator, and he's going super fast, and it doesn't matter what we do. It's just really hokey and cheesy, and it's in black and white, but things are starting to colorize. So it's gonna be an
I mean,
interesting.
yeah, you just said that, like they were hiding out, and I remember like in one of the Marvel films, I forget which one, but they're kind of it's Vision and Wanda. They're just kind of like hanging around. I think probably in Europe somewhere, and
Yes,
but the other Avengers were kind of like looking over them to make sure they were safe or something. But
right. Now
so I
they're
figured like
hiding.
it's around that timeline.
Yeah, it's like in the 50s. So she's time traveled back into like the 50s because it's a whole like 50s vibe, the
Huh.
clothes, the hairstyles, the furniture, and they're just trying to assimilate themselves into suburbia, you know.
Well, how do they time travel?
I don't.
There's so many questions. This
I
is why
know
I
it,
don't want to watch it.
but see, she can rewind stuff. She has that ability. I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm horrible about this. I'm not good at. Ask me about Batman. I might have it covered. I know nothing about.
What's Batman's middle name?
The Batman.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, so check it out. It's on Disney Plus. First 2 episodes are up as of right now, and I think they're kind of. You can suffer through episode 1. Episode 2, things start get interesting. So go check that out.
Are they 30-minute episodes or like 20?
They're like 30. Yeah, they're 30-minute episodes. Yeah, they're not going to kill you. You know, it ain't like Raised by Wolves that kills you. So, and then do we have any news? You said something about the new Thor movie.
Yeah, Matt Damon. He's gonna be. He joined the cast for Thor: Love and Thunder or something. I think that's what it's called, the 4th one. And he played Loki as he was the actor that was acting as Loki in Ragnarok.
That's right. Yeah, it is Love and Thunder.
So we'll see if he's cast again as that. I'm sure he is. He's going to be Loki again. But in what context will they have him in there? It's not big news. I don't think it's really big news. I thought it was interesting.
Well, yeah. It does say. I just Googled it and how he's shown up in Australia, and I mean it's already got Chris Pratt, Dave Bautista, Tessa Thompson, and Natalie Portman, along with Chris Hemsworth, of course, and Christian Bale. Good God, that's a lot of people.
I don't know.
The same director who the guy who directed Ragnarok, the person who directed Ragnarok, is directing this one. Thanks to federal subsidy to roughly 18 million. I wonder what the budget's going to be. Love and Thunder. There's a whole lot of Phase 4 between now and then, as Love and Thunder will follow Black Widow May 7th, Shanghai and the Legend of the Ten Rings July 9th, Eternals November 5th, and Spider-Man on December 17th, 2021. And Doctor Strong? Isn't that Doctor Strange? In the Multiverse of Madness, or is it Doctor Strong?
It's probably Strange.
That's what I was thinking. So it's not coming out till next year. The Thor movie in 2022.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess.
That's what we have for. So we've got. I can't wait till that Black Widow comes out. I'm tired of seeing the trailer at the movies. I don't want to see it just because I've seen the trailer so many times.
It's and the Gentleman. Is it the Gentleman? No, it's not the Gentleman. It's the
like the League of Extraordinary.
No.
Oh.
Kingsman. There
Kingsman,
we go.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that one. It's like you see that one a lot, and I remember walking in there, and then they had the posters for all the movies. It still said 2020. I was like, oh, that's sad. That we could have watched this.
They probably
that one should come out this year.
They probably could have released that at the movies and like on HBO at the same time.
Yeah.
Instead of Wonder Woman. So that's the Matt Damon news. And then we have the Zack Snyder cut. This guy changes his mind about the Zack Snyder cut the way I change my underwear, which is daily. Where's my? I saved something because I thought it was kind of interesting. Because they wanted to do it in four 1-hour episodes on HBO Max, right? It's a 4-hour film. The reported plan was for the alternate cut to be released in 4-hour-long installments and dropped on the streamer. But Mr. Zack Snyder has now indicated that the Snyder Cut release plans will be a bit different. He did a Q&A session is what he did. And somebody asked if it would be as a series or as a one shot, and Snyder replied, one shot. 4-hour feature film. Can we sit through a four? I mean, you go to a double feature of two 90-minute movies or two 2-hour movies, at least they give you like a 15, 20-minute break in between movies, you know? But 4 hours? I could not sit in this movie for 4 hours. I'm not even on the couch.
Yeah, I don't know. I need a really comfy seat and a lot of breaks. I don't think it's would be entertaining the whole time. I mean, you're gonna like lose interest and get on your phone, and you're just gonna
And that's the bonus of the movie theater as opposed to. I think you've hit a key point there. Like, you know, if you get bored, you're gonna play on your phone.
Yeah, I mean, The Irishman on Netflix, that was 3.5 hours, and I definitely fell asleep like 2 or 3 times watching that. And I'm like, is this movie over yet? I mean, geez.
I don't mind 3-hour movies like that. I love 3-hour mob movies because I think it takes a long time to tell a story. But I'm not going to watch that. You know, The Godfather's over 3 hours long, so is The Godfather Part 2. I can watch those over and over and over again. I cannot. I won't watch The Irishman. Plus, it's not. It's fake. It's fake news. It's not what really happened.
Yeah.
But you know, I understand. I see what you're saying, but he says it could get the big screen treatment at some point. And the executives only said that it was going to be sometime between early and mid 2021 if it was going to be on HBO Max. I can't imagine sitting for 4 hours. I mean, I could watch 2 Star Wars movies in a day, but like you said, 4 hours straight. I don't think I could sit through 4 hours straight of a. And it wasn't that great to begin with, you know.
Yeah.
It was good, but it didn't get good till that Wonder Woman showed up. She saved the movie. I thought.
I think a lot of people did too. I mean, the original Justice League is 2 hours long. I mean, how much more content can you really put into it to make it more entertaining for 2 hours?
Right.
I mean, I like Zack Snyder. He's great, but I'm really interested in how I'd consider watching it, but it might take a while to really carve out some time for 4 hours.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I might fall asleep through that, actually. I think isn't there like another cut of it on HBO already?
I don't know. I don't have HBO, so.
Like a different version? I think there's a different version of it. Hang on, I can tell you. Let's go to the videotape and see what it is.
I probably
think. Yeah. I think there's another.
Yeah, I would. I would rather have that miniseries. I mean,
I think
it's going to be the same content anyway, and the director will decide when to cut it up and when to stop it at a certain point. Not when, say, if I watched the 4-hour thing, it's like, oh, I can't watch the rest of it. I'm gonna stop it here, and then it just might throw it off the way you're not supposed to watch it. I don't know, but
let's take a look here. I'm on the app now. Let's see if we can go.
Like, there's a lot of documentaries on Netflix that's like 4 parts, but they're each like an hour or so long. So I mean, I think that would work in Justice League's case.
Even Disney's done that. You know what I mean? I mean, with their documentaries and stuff. Let's see here.
I mean, I remember that watching the Justice League trailer too, and there's some stuff in the trailer that you never saw in the movie. So
right,
and that was some of the stuff I kind of really wanted to watch, like Cyborg's, especially Cyborg's intro and stuff, like when he was on the football field or something. And,
no, it's just It's just a regular. It's just a regular cut that I can see.
Oh. Did you also hear that the Flash movie? I don't know. That's really centered around the Flash. I don't know when it comes out or anything. Let's look. But it's supposed to have. Um, they're not gonna have um, Ben Affleck as a Batman. It's gonna be. They're gonna have Michael Keaton in there. Actually, in the cast, it says they're gonna have both of them.
Well, that's what I thought. I knew Michael. I heard that Michael Keaton was coming back as Batman, but I didn't read any more into it. It was for the next.
Yeah.
Was it for the next Justice League movie?
No, it's for the Flash.
Oh, for the Flash. Okay.
Yeah, 2022. It says it's still gonna have the Ezra Miller from Justice League. But I mean, if, the way I see it, if it's got both Batmans, Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton, maybe he goes back in time
There's always been all kinds of time travel.
or forward in time, because I guess he's a little bit older.
I mean, Superman did fly around the Earth and reverse it. And
Yeah.
So Lois Lane could be saved from the earthquake. Yeah. Have they done anything about a Shazam sequel? Do we know about? I think that was kind of like a little hidden gem. I enjoyed that movie. It was funny.
Yeah, it was surprising to me how good it was. Because I don't really know much about Shazam.
See, when I was a kid, there was a TV show called Shazam, and it was that kid, and he drove around in a Winnebago with some old man, and he would just go Shazam, and he would like save people, you know. So.
I think I remember Shazam, like he was like in a Mortal Kombat, or no, he was in the. It was like Mortal Kombat, but it was for it was for superheroes. I forget what game it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What was that? I liked it. It had the Flash, it had the Batman and Joker.
Will a Flash movie work though? I mean, don't they have the TV show, right? But I started watching that TV show and I got so lost because there were so many alternate universes that was going on, and I just didn't want to think that much for an hour, you know.
I don't think it was Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. I don't think that was it, but it might have been.
Oh, it wasn't Justice League. It was Ultimate Edition Batman versus Superman is what it was. That they had the Ultimate Edition. Let's see here. Yeah, it's 3 hours and 3 minutes. Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition. That's what it was. Isn't that a Zack Snyder movie too?
I guess it was.
Yeah, Zack Snyder. Yeah. So.
Cool.
Yeah, but that didn't help anything. I fell asleep watching it. The Ultimate Edition. I don't know what there was. I only saw it once, and every time I see that movie, they're like, "Why did you say that name?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, they're stepbrothers." You know, it's like Dale and Brennan. They became best friends. Your mom's name's Martha too. Did we just become best friends? Yep. What's your favorite dinosaur?
Do karate
1, 2, 3, Velociraptor. Yeah, they're gonna go do karate in the garage. That's exactly right. Prestige worldwide. They're gonna use Batman's money, you know. I just don't see. I just don't see how a 4-hour superhero movie is gonna. I mean, prove me wrong, Mr. Snyder.
Yeah.
So we've got that, and then you said that Netflix are releasing new movies every week.
Yeah, at least one new movie every week. So
Are they originals?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I don't know if they're Netflix originals or not. I'm sure most of them are, but I don't know if they are.
if a Hallmark channel is able to churn out new movies every week,
Yeah.
I don't see why Netflix couldn't do it either. Even though it's just a rehash of the same movie, maybe they're going to do that too.
Yeah. Just change the names a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to change the name and the character, and the lead will either be they'll change the lead from female to male, male, female, because it's in the Hallmark movies it's the guy comes home from the big city to take care of something from the small town he is from, falls in love, and quits the big job in the big city to stay back,
Yeah.
and vice versa. Or it's the successful woman that then she comes back and meets her high school sweetheart or a guy she went to high school with, and they fall in love, and she moves back to the small town.
Sounds like you've seen some of these before.
I have suffered. I have written a Hallmark movie, Mikey. I have it. I want to, but I need a female lead, and since I'm not dating anybody, I don't have a female lead. But I've written a Hallmark movie. It's about a guy who is, since we're in Indiana, so he lives in Indianapolis. The premise of my movie is he's in Indianapolis. He's from Indianapolis, or he lives in Indianapolis. And he is a writer. He writes books for a living, right? This is the premise of my movie. It's called Putting the Chris back in Christmas. So somebody's going to steal this idea probably from me. But he's a writer, and his dad has passed away, so he has to come back to a small town to kind of button things up, and put the house up for sale, And he stops at a restaurant, like a fast food, and to get some food, and his car breaks down, and he sees a girl that he knew from way long ago, and they hang out because it's Christmas time, and his car has a special part that has to be come over from Japan, so it takes longer. So he's stuck in the city because he couldn't rent a car and just drive back and drive home. He's gonna stay in the hometown. So and then they fall in love, and he decides to stay at the small town again. He won't move back to Indianapolis. So that's the premise of my movie, and he hates Christmas because his dad passes away at Christmas time. See, so they got to put the Chris back in Christmas. See.
That's kind of clever. I like that.
Thank you. So we need a director and co-stars and a female lead. We need a female co-star, but we have no director or female co-star, so we can't get it made.
I'll be your female co-star.
Could do that. Okay.
I'll work on it. I'll start taking estrogen or something.
Let me know when your boobies come out. Okay, so we will shift gears from movies and TV shows, and we're going into sports because we don't have a lot to talk about. See,
wait. Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about Godzilla versus Kong?
They moved it up 2 months to March, I think. I think it's March. Yeah, really? March 26th.
I hope this movie don't lay a giant turd.
Yeah. I liked all the other ones.
I didn't like the last Godzilla movie. I have not been big on. I've been disappointed in the Godzilla movies. I really have. And I love Godzilla. Love him. I love the old movies. I love the old Godzilla movies. But I want to see him tear shit up.
Godzilla.
Yes. But the first movie, all he was a radar blip through the whole movie. And that just bothered me.
Yeah.
And then the second movie, I couldn't see anything because it was so dark and rainy and cloudy, and it was just a dark movie. Yeah. I want to see buildings getting tore up, and I want to see toy tanks.
See, what I'm thinking of is like why they have to fight each other, because they seem like they kind of protect. They have something to protect. Like Godzilla was protecting, like, I guess, that city, or he wanted to be like the alpha, and he was killing all the monsters. And then in Kong Skull Island, I mean, he's just protecting the that girl mostly, but I mean, and the other person's from those worming
Right.
things.
Yes.
But it's
The
like,
things.
but what's gonna pit them against each other? Because they seem both like good characters, like on the
Right.
good side. But
I don't know. I don't. I've always been. I love the King Kong movie though. I thought that was great.
yeah,
Uh, I just. But what I loved about that was you saw Kong within like the first 5 minutes of the movie. They
yeah,
didn't keep him hidden. Bam, he was just there. Which I don't mind the build up. You know that even in the King Kong movies there was a build up till you actually saw him. But I'm interested to see how this is going to go, and hopefully they're not fighting in some giant, nuclear rain cloud of mist that you can't see anything. Um, but I am looking forward to it. So, because I mean, in Kong, like he was out in broad daylight, you could just see him.
yeah.
So let's hope that Houston that's moved up to March. Oh, and they're like didn't and oh that's what I wanted to talk about was the movie releases they're going to do. The movies that are coming out soon. If you want to get to the movies, the number one movie of the week was what was the number one movie of the week this week? It wasn't Wonder Woman. She came in second. The Marksman made $3.2 million with Liam Neeson as Liam Neeson. Wonder Woman made 2. Wonder Woman made 2.6. The Croods at 2 million was in third. News of the World at 1.1. Monster Hunter at 920K and Fatale at 530K. That's the top 6 movies of the week. Jumanji Level 1 comes out this week. It is released on Wednesday. I don't know if it's straight to video. It is a prequel to the movies. It talks about how the game started and why it was, how it became cursed and things like that. So it has nobody in it that I've heard of. It doesn't have an all-star cast. So, I mean, it could be good. I mean, it might just be one of those. And then coming out Friday, you have Our Friend with Jason Segel, Casey Affleck, Gwendolyn Christie, Captain Phasma herself, and Dakota Johnson, and another movie called No Man's Land. And that's something about going on. It's about real life no man's land areas along the Texas-Mexico border. I'm not too sure, but so these are the movies that are coming out this week, and I saw coming out. I'm kind of excited about this. January 26th, you have looks like they rebooted Wrong Turn, which is something I can get behind because you cannot go wrong with inbred hillbillies terrorizing people in the mountains and in the Appalachian Mountains. You just can't go wrong with something like that. That's got Matthew Modine in it, so go to the movies, buy popcorn, buy soda pop, get to your movie theater, and start watching movies, please, so we can have them for our future. It is imperative that because I don't see anything coming out soon other than Tom and Jerry, which I do want to see. Yeah, March 26th is Godzilla vs. Kong. And then April 2nd, it's kicking in then because then you got the James Bond movie on April 2nd. So, Quiet Place Part 2 on April 23rd. Black Widow finally May 7th. So, get to the movie. There's a lot of good stuff coming out soon. If we can survive through these next few months, maybe we can get back to normal. And go to the movies. Now we shift gears to sports. Our beloved Pacers have traded. I think he was the disgruntled Victor Oladipo.
Yeah,
I don't.
you get that feeling. I got that feeling a little.
I don't think he got along with people in the locker room.
Maybe
And
more the organization. I think he liked the guys in the locker room, but it was everyone else. Tell them, like the managers and the GM, whatnot. I don't think he liked him.
But well, when he came back from his injury last year, instead of like the team getting better, it's like his presence it's like they hurt the team. It hurt the way they played. They played pretty decent without him. They really did. And seemed like it was, and I don't think it was an intentional, but it seemed like it disrupted the flow of the team when he came back. And so out of that, they got Karis LeVert, right?
Yeah.
Which he is out indefinitely. He has some kind of mass on his kidney. Is that what they said?
Yeah, that's what I read.
So he is out. But it's probably a good deal anyway because Oladipo is a free agent after this year anyway. So they might as well get something for him because you knew he wasn't going to resign.
No, yeah.
He wasn't coming back. So, and they're selling tickets here soon. I saw that they're starting February 1st. They're starting to sell tickets, I guess, to the Pacer game. 1,000 tickets 1,000 tickets per game to go, I believe is the information that I read. I will not go for a while. I'm a disgruntled Pacers fan. Plus, like you said, there's only 1,000 seats. So is it gonna be? I mean, I know when like the Colts sold like 9,000 seats and 12,000 seats, that the tickets were pretty pricey for what was available. I just think with less seats, you're going to it's going to cost more to go.
I want to really I guess if you're really dying to watch a game, it probably wouldn't matter. I mean, when you go to a regular season game, that like say back in 2019, when everything was open and whatnot, I mean, I I get a little bit claustrophobic. So when there's not that many people around, like I'd be like, oh, why can't it be like this all the time? Because
Right.
you can just walk around the stadium or the court or like the facility, the venue. You don't have to bump into anybody.
I mean, that is true. So, but I don't know. Will they be selling like? Is it going to be peppered? The seats going to be peppered? Or are they just going to be selling like on the sides only? As opposed to being way up high and then they're only a game out of first place. They're 8-5. They're sitting in fourth place. Milwaukee's 9-4. So they're playing pretty decent. So I mean, we'll just have to see how it goes. I don't know how long the season's going to be. So I guess is this just are they just playing like a half season and then we're going to do the NBA Finals in June or?
I think they're planning on playing a whole season. But I know that the Pacers already had the game postponed. So
yeah, against Miami.
But I don't know how they're gonna fit that in. I mean, I think I was thinking about this the other day with like the NFL playing their whole schedule last year when it really got bad, the COVID-19 situation. I mean, I think it really helped leagues like the NHL and NBA and potentially the MLB this year be like, okay, we can do this. We can have all games this year. We can do it with and don't have to cut the season down or anything. The only thing is they probably won't have as many viewers at the
I think the way they handled everything last year with the I think they lost a lot of viewers anyway.
Yeah.
Because people wanted that. Oh my God, we got sports back. We get a release from the real world, and then it's part of the NBA, and I think that just turned off a lot of fans. So I don't know if I mean the NHL is back. They've already played 4 games. My Blackhawks are 0-3. It's last in the
Ooh,
division.
not
They
good.
played. They played 2 or 3 games. I'm sorry. They've played 3 games. Some players. Some have played 2. The Lightning are sitting up at the top there at 2-0. So, um, yeah, it's pretty bad for the Blackhawks this year. Looks like Taze is out indefinitely. So, yeah, they've played 2 games. A lot of them have played 2 games. So 2 or 3 games. So, but we do have hockey back. The NBA's back. We got the NFL playoffs in full gear. We got the NFC AFC Championship games this weekend coming up. We get the Bills and the Chiefs. Now, is Mahomes going to play?
Yeah, that's they. I mean, a lot of people are saying he's going to play, but he's still going to be affected by this.
I think so too. Plus,
Yeah.
is if he gets hit,
Oh yeah, if he gets another good hit,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, even if he just gets hit and not even hard, it could still affect him if he's got those lingering symptoms.
And his toe he hurt his toe too. That with yesterday's game
Yeah, you can't be running around in the NFL anymore.
or
I mean,
Saturday's game.
Lamar Jackson's proof of that. You know what I mean? You can't. You cannot be a running. If you got to scramble, that's fine. I mean, Elway was one of the best of that. You know what I mean? And so is Frank Tarkington, Kenny Stabler. But I mean, Stabler paid the price a lot of times. But we've already seen it before with RG3, and all of these other running quarterbacks that you just get hurt. So you got to be careful. You got to protect yourself.
Who do you got in the Super Bowl?
Well, because I hate the Chiefs and the Buccaneers, I'm going for Bills Packers.
I put a $2 bet on Bills Packers wild card weekend.
Really?
Even though I wanted the Colts to win so bad. I mean, but I was like, I don't think they will. But it's only to win $24. But hey,
so what? I mean, but I've got Bills Packers because, I mean, the Bills were bad for so. I mean, so were the Chiefs, but I hate the Chiefs because I'm a Raider fan. So I cannot root for the Chiefs in any capacity whatsoever. That's just the way it is. It's not happening. And I hate the Bucks because they have the worst fans. Florida produces the worst type of fans in the world. I lived in Florida for 25 years. In that, it's not like the Cubs or the Raiders or the Bears or the Packers. In that, if your team is good, or the Red Sox even, if your team is good or they suck, you still go to the games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to you, they're the greatest team in the whole world, and that's who you support. Good or bad. I mean, I'm a Raider fan, and they finished 8-8 this year. You know what? They're still the most awesome team in the world to me, because I'm a diehard. I've been through countless seasons of 4-12, and 3-13, and 8-8. They were better than 8-8, but they're getting there. And the Buccaneer fans are horrible. They only show up when they win, and the Tampa Bay Ray fans are the same way.
Yeah.
And I remember, who was it? Not Aubrey Huff, but who was their big guy for a while?
Nope.
But they were leading the division in the last week of the season, right? And this was back in 08, 09, somewhere around there. And 12,000 people showed up for their game during the last week of the season. And I'm like, really? You wanted a winning team. We gave you a winning team, and you guys aren't even showing up for their games. They'll show up for the playoffs. They don't show up for the regular season. They're the worst fans in the world. I'm not a fan of Leonard Fournette, and I'm definitely not a fan of Antonio Brown. Let's put it that way. He is the worst type of football player in the world. He ranks up there with Randy Moss, in my opinion, in that you go to a team and you just give up so you can be forced to trade, or you can be released so you can go play with somebody else and then decide that, oh, hey, you know what? I think I want to play for this guy. I hate players like that. Drives me nuts. Can't stand them.
Well, what do you think about Juju Smith?
Oh, he's talking about going to the Raiders. He said I heard that. Did you hear that?
No, I'm talking about his controversy.
With the what his dancing and
Yeah, yeah,
his
all
body.
his dancing, and he wants to be. They're saying he wants to go to a bigger market, so
He
he
said
can get his name out there more.
how do you? But it's Pittsburgh. That's like one of the most legendary teams in the history of the NFL. You
You
can't get
think,
any
but it's
bigger than
still
that.
not. Oh, yeah, you can't. New York, of course, Dallas.
Yeah,
You know.
because that's worked out for Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott in Dallas. He has listed Oakland or Las Vegas. I'm sorry, not Oakland. He has listed Las Vegas as one of the teams that he would like to go to. I did hear that.
Yeah, and those all teams are a bigger market than
Well, yeah,
Pittsburgh.
they're bigger
Pittsburgh.
market, but
Pittsburgh's probably just as big as Indy.
he is. Yeah, but it's a well. Yeah, but they've got a huge fan base. I mean,
Yeah.
I knew people in Florida. There's people here in Indiana that I know that love the Steelers. So
Oh yeah.
they've got a humongous, regardless of small or big market, they've got a humongous fan base. Um, if he wants to come play for the Vegas, okay. Um, as a person who buys football jerseys on a regular basis, I would not buy his jersey because I see him as a 2 or 3 year flash in the pan kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'd buy a Darren Waller jersey before I would buy a Juju Smith-Schuster jersey if he came play for the Raiders. You know, or Daryl, yeah. So, um, yeah, he's. Did you see the thing with Booger McFarland when he was talking about the NFL players?
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of it. I
He
know it
hit
was
the nail on the head.
yeah.
He's like, they don't play. They don't show up and play anymore. They're worried too much about their brand. They're worried too much about their
Yeah.
social media. And that's what Juju Smith's worried about right now. And he's worried about his brand.
Yeah.
He'll play football.
Shoot, like Juju, he started a Twitch stream yesterday. He says, "Free agent, where am I going?" Or that was the title of the stream or something.
See, you can't. That's all he
Yeah.
cares about is his brand. They're so you can't. Football is a team sport. You have to. And baseball. Baseball is a perfect example. And this was I was a huge Johnny Damon fan. I love Johnny Damon. He was my favorite player. And the reason why he was my favorite player was because he was so unselfish. If he had to sacrifice, he would sacrifice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To get that player over. That's what teamwork is all about. It wasn't about his brand. He didn't care about his brand. He wanted to do what he could to make the Red Sox win or Oakland win or the Yankees win. He was a team player. Dennis Rodman was that way. As goofy as he was a team player. He's unselfish. Whatever it takes to get the team to win. And these players that just all they care about is themselves and their brand and putting themselves out there. And I am not a fan at all. Never will be. So but now I'm gonna have to root for him. Watch, he's gonna show up in Las Vegas. I'll have to. So we got that, and then I on the racing front, Marco Andretti, who is the grandson of IndyCar legend Mario, racing legend, no worldwide Formula One champion. He's the grandson of Mario Andretti, son of Michael Andretti, stepping out of the race car except for the Indy 500. He says he wants to do other things.
There's a lot of drivers like that. They just want to race the 500, right?
Yeah, he has stepped out of the car full time and is going to run Indy only. He's 2 wins and 245 starts, and I think people expected, when your grandfather's Mario Andretti and your
Yeah.
dad's Michael Andretti. Michael Andretti won. Mario won 50 IndyCar races. Michael won 41 IndyCar races, and he's won 2. So the expectations were there to be a champion, you know, and he's an enigma of why, there's bad luck. He never became the product that his grandfather or his father was. So I was always a fan of his. He sat on the pole to 500 last year. I've always rooted for him. Always kind of felt bad for him because I know he had all that extra pressure. But yeah, he is stepping out of the car, which was a shock. But he is going to run the 500. So, and I guess we've got in 2 weeks we have the Rolex 24 at Daytona. So for you race fans, you got racing coming up soon. And also, the Daytona 500 is on Valentine's Day, so you and your loved one, if you have one, can spend a day watching a marathon 500 plus mile race. It's called the Daytona 500, but it will go into overtime because NASCAR's stupid and added overtime. if the race don't finish under green. So, with that being said,
I mean, I don't watch a lot of NASCAR, but
I don't either.
So yeah, the one thing I'm kind of interested in seeing, I guess, hearing about, because I won't see it or I'll read it or something about it, is Michael Jordan's team.
Yeah,
And Denny
Michael Jordan
Hamlin
has it.
and is it Bubba
Bubba
Wallace?
Wallace, yes.
Yeah,
And now Pitbull has bought into a NASCAR team now.
Mr. Worldwide.
305, Dolly.
So
So, yeah, Barstool's big into NASCAR. I don't get the popularity of it. I don't. I only knocked NASCAR because I remember that the racing used to be better than it is now, and I saw somebody post because Haley is it Haley Deegan, I think. It was a female truck driver. She drives in the truck series, a lower division, but she said the R word during an iRacing thing. So NASCAR made her go through sensitive training, right? She got to go to sensitive training. Can you imagine Dale Earnhardt going into sensitive training back in the
yeah,
day,
oh
or
yeah,
Richard Petty, or David, any of these old school guys that were just mouthy and loud and characters. And I only knock NASCAR because the drivers are vanilla. There's no personality. There's no, they're just all cookie cutter, PR driven, sponsor driven people.
yeah.
They don't seem to be individuals anymore. But you got NASCAR coming up, and then I don't have IndyCar racing till March. Ugh, that's a long ways away. But with that being said, I've already. By the time depending on when we do our next podcast, we could. I guess we could preview maybe in our next podcast. We could preview the championship games. But like I said, I already made my picks between the Bills and the Packers, and that's due to default of hatred of the other two teams. So, that is all I've got. You got anything else that you want to talk about today, Mr. Mikey?
Be safe, have fun.
Okay, shower thoughts.
I'm looking. I don't know. I guess can a teacher give a homeless kid homework?
Oh, that's mean. It's a good question.
Yeah.
You all figure it out, and
Yeah.
You can check us out on all forms of podcastery, if that's what you call it. We are on Spotify, iTunes, and TuneIn Radio. And Thumbs Down Guy can check us out on YouTube. So, because Thumbs Down Guy is notoriously following us on YouTube. So, hey, Thumbs Down Guy, be sure to check us out on YouTube. And we will be back, hopefully, with a full cast next time. If not, we will handle it like we always do, because, we're just that good at it, I guess. Or not. I mean, we might be terrible. Yeah. This could be the worst episode ever. We have no clue. And, as you go through your day, I want a podcast. I want a nerdy podcast that covers just random crap. Just check out our podcast and you'll never have to wonder, who's your nerds?
Yeah.